Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what it do? This is the Please Understand podcast, clocking in April 29th edition. We are involved with the calm before the storm. We have got a big night tomorrow night in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, one of the bigger Minnesota sports evenings, if you will, in quite a long time, I would say, even though it is just first round. Uh, as we all know, if you follow these teams around here, not the most playoff success. So a couple chances to put the nail in the coffin. So we will get into some T-Wolves nugs, Wild and Stars. We've just had a Vikings draft. We almost were maybe thinking about a walk-off Wednesday earlier today for these Millers. So we're going to probably tuck them in for next week or maybe next year. We'll check in on those guys when we really have run out of things to discuss. PGA one and done as well. Zurich Classic is in the rear view. Our bye week is over, and we're going to be back at it trying to figure out who we can pick to win this week at the Cadillac Championship, which is a new one this year to the schedule. As always, like, subscribe, download, rate, review, 5 stars, of course. I mean, don't be throwing any 4s on there, all right? Even if you think it's funny, seriously, put a 5. Don't be a dick. All right. These are competitive times in the net. But fellas, I feel like we got to jump right in here. There's going to be a lot to get to. Definitely Wolves Nuggies. We'll kick that off. Lot going on with this series, as we know, and we've discussed. NBA not the best product right now. So Wolves Nugs has kind of jumped to the forefront throughout the first round. A lot of drama. We've had Dante go down with a torn Achilles. Ant gets hurt the same game. Jaden becoming a villain. We got Jokic acting like a little bitch, just pushing dudes into the crowd. Of course, not suspended. I don't even know. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff going on back and forth on social media with local medias from both cities. I'll go to you first, Phil. Sounds like you were a little rambunctious getting ready for this pod tonight. So where should we even begin with all of it, with this potpourri?
Oh man, there is a lot. There is a lot. I guess like for me, I want to start just by like looking at the present and looking at Game 6 tomorrow. And I know like there's a lot to talk about from what's happened over the past week, but it's just a big must-win game tomorrow. I don't know that you're going to go get 7. I'm pretty excited about Game 6. So that crowd, like if you're going, I think I said this probably last week, if you're going, be loud. Our crowd's always great. 3 and 4 were just outstanding. You could just, you feel it coming through the TV if you're not there. And I think tomorrow's got to be even bigger. Just what a big night tomorrow night. Wolves and Wild, a couple Game 6s.
Yeah. Present, right? You're looking forward instead of backward, because when you look at what's transpired, I mean, it's like, God,
it's tough.
It's a couple of real devastating injuries on Saturday night, when we were really looking like we were putting it all together, right? Were they going to flip the switch? Was this same old? And you're like, man, I think we were talking about it. We're like, man, we're finally getting that version of Dante that we've all wanted since the trade. He's had his ups and downs, but man, was he really kind of coming into his own as a Timberwolf. And then sure enough, Achilles blown out. Knew it pretty right away, right? I think all the people on X, all us Twitter doctors over there, like that's the one thing we do kind of have pretty dialed. When you just see a guy's back of his leg just kind of snap up through into his calf, you're like, yeah, I mean, chances are. And he knew right away too, right? Just like sitting there, like his reaction wasn't like, poor me or anything. It was, we joke about the training staff. It was like, guys, I'm fucked here. I need someone come over and help me. And he walked off too, which is G shit, gorilla nuts, as Ant has said.
Yeah, soldier. Like to walk off was head held high. He played every game this year. We talk about guys that aren't out there trying all the time, and he's one that just he played every game. I mean, you can't fault him for that. But can we just like talk the broadcast? Did you have to show the replay of his Achilles snap
No.
like 45 times? I know we were discussing watching the game that like in the NFL, if that happens to a running back, you see it once and they're just like, we're not going to show that again. And this was like, hey, check out what happened in the first quarter again.
In
I
case
just
you
thought that was
forgot,
a little weird. Yeah. A little
like
disrespectful almost.
yeah, they don't give a shit, NBA or ESPN. But yeah, you mentioned the crowd. Breen was saying that as well. I think they caught up with him in the hallways after Game 3, and he was praising them. So I guess yeah, talking Game 6. I mean, Game 5 was you could kind of, it was predictable, right? Like their level, Denver's level of desperation. Like you can't fake it. We're up 3-1. It's almost like you had one to play with, and you're kind of getting used to a new backcourt. What's this new rotation going to be? But Jake, what do we got to do in Game 6 to put this series away?
Don't turn the ball over. Maybe that would be a great starting point. I think that we turned the ball over 25% of our possessions that game, which is in the 99th percentile of all NBA games played the entire season. So that's a pretty sweet stat to hang your hat on. Of course,
Checks
Minnesota
out.
does that. We stopped driving the ball. We had, I think, 50% less shots in the paint than we did in the previous 3 games than the average. So, of course, we faded away from that. The only way to beat the Denver Nuggets is to drive on them. But we settled for jumpers. Of course, missed most of them. And then, I don't know, probably just bring your best sandwich and just hope for the best in Game 6.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, they got to be smelling
easy
blood
stuff,
too.
always. Yeah.
That's what we always say. Just make the simple play, all that kind of stuff. Even Kyle, I mean, it was second half. He throws like a behind the back, a baseline cutter that just goes out of bounds. Like those are the things where you're like, dude, that's January T-Wolves, man. Like we're on we got to at least close out this series. I know things are looking bad, and it's like it's kind of almost a death blow what happened Saturday night with those injuries. But like you're up 3-1 here. I still think we have enough to at least pull off a win in Game 6 and at least advance. And then you're at the point of like, well, how soon can Ant come back? Can it be by Game 3 where, you know, if you can be only down 2-0 or something like that, it's like you still feel like you have some sort of chance to, you know, get this season back. But for Game 6, it's like, you know, who's got to step up, man? I'm looking at Nas. Like, is it a situation where we need like a monster game out of Nas? Or like, I'm almost thinking like it's just got to be like one of those nights, I think, where we got like 6 guys in double figures. You know, I don't think anyone needs to be dropping 35 or anything like that. Or Desumu 43. We even mentioned that. Crazy shit. Like,
Awesome.
which just like there's so many things in this series that it just like you can't even believe it. But I think Nas is at the top of my list of like, all right, man, I know you're hurt and he got hurt again. Weird.
That's just an ankle, dude.
I know.
I couldn't believe
he
does that
down like that. Cause I mean, you see ankle turns worse than that. And you know, guys come
from
back.
him.
I figured he'd come back. But yeah, he was maybe making a show of it. I don't know why, but it's time for him to step up and like, I need you knocking threes down, playing under control, and give us a little defense as well. I feel like that's about as big a key as anything. Is just like we don't know where the scoring is going to come from necessarily. So go put them in a straitjacket, and you don't have to score 125 points. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, no, like Jake mentioned the turnovers. That's obvious. Number one, take care of the ball. And you just mentioned Nas, like playing under control. I mean, I think that's like the biggest thing of everything for him. He just sometimes just gets too in his own head. I think though, like they shot 50% from the field, 42 from 3 last game. So like they shot the ball well. Obviously that can hold up if you're driving the ball to the rim more. And then I think, you know, role players typically play better at home, and the Nuggets role players were awesome for them in Game 5. You can't teach that sense of desperation they were in, but like, I mean, how repeatable is, I don't know. They were like 18 for 27 between Bron Jones and Cam Johnson. And I'm like, okay, I'm not seeing that transpire again in game 6. Like, that's just ridiculous. So 7 and 9 for Spencer Jones. That is wild to see.
With that jumper, with that beauty of a jumper.
Yeah, with that. Yeah.
Where he like almost kind of knocks himself in his own forehead, like loading up the shot. They were due to have a game like that, though. Like, you can
number one
Cam
offense,
Johnson,
number one 3-point shooting offense. It was going to happen.
It was due. And it's like, hey, if you guys want to just put them all into one game, fine. Right? Like, you would just imagine, like you said, a little drop off in game 6. But when you turn the ball over, especially for just easy buckets the other way, that's where our defense takes a hit. And then all their guys get a nice rhythm off of that too. Christian Braun, whatever you want to say. He gets a couple dunks. Now he's, peacocking out there, right? Like, as he likes to front run.
He really does.
So you can't let him get those easy ones, right? And it right out of the gate, 2 fouls on Jaden. And you could just tell, like, pretty quickly, like, it's just going to be one of these nights. And we got it down to 10. And then Christian hit like a corner 3. And then I think it might have been that Julius drive that just, they poked it out into a breakaway, and it's like, now it's 15. Like, that's it, right? So even with all the turnovers and all the nonsense, like, we were still like, hey, could this be another weird, like, Wolves comeback? We've had so many crazy ones, like the Rockets, even just in OT. But I mean, I feel like it's going to be, it's still going to be a war, like, as good as Rudy's been, like, you're not going to keep Jokic down. Like, he finally got that big assist night. That's the other thing that we need to be able to contain, right? If he wants to get his 40 or whatever, go ahead. But we can't be having you get 16 assists, because now all the other clowns are getting involved, and they're feeling better about themselves. They're playing better defense. They're out pressuring the ball and leading to some of those turnovers. So that's where I feel like, from 5 to 6, we got our little scrimmage of like who's going to be doing what with a new backcourt. We started Mike. Jake, do you think he's going to start again?
Yeah, I think he starts again. Minutes will be reduced, but he'll definitely be starting. He's just too much of a trust blanket for old Finchy.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. And just knowing he knows the assignment. Like, I think, and there were some quotes of Finch about TJ, because he would be the guy. If it was me, I would just start TJ. I'm like, dude, I'm swinging for the fences here. And if he doesn't have it, then just whatever, pull him out and bring him in later on or whatever. But like, it's tricky for TJ to, like, all these off-ball screens and stuff. Like, it's confusing for him. Mike at least knows, he recognizes all that and is in the right position. But even if he is, it doesn't matter, because they're just going to make a tough shot over him. And is it even a tough shot, right? Like, these guys are all bigger than him. And then on offense, they're just like, we're going to get all, I don't know why they're not even pressing him. Like, you need to, like, they're getting all under him when he does have the ball. And he did hit a couple little floaters just kind of out of, like, desperation of, like, they're attacking me so aggressively here that I like have to drive. They know he doesn't want to shoot. So that's the style of defense where if you're pressuring us out on the perimeter like that, you got to have guys that can drive the ball. And that's why I'm like, TJ, I can't believe he didn't. I mean, I guess I can believe it took him a while to get going, but, like, there's no rim protector back there. Let him attack the fucking basket, man. Like, that's what you got to be doing. But if you're giving up layups on the other end, then, what are we doing here? We're just spinning our wheels. So I think you're right. It'll probably be Mike. But if they're going to start deploying Tyus, it's like, can we try to pair those Mike minutes with when Tyus is on the court from a defensive matchup standpoint? Start Mike if you want. I wouldn't be playing him into the 5-6 minute mark. Like, he's playing too much to start. I think, like, he's in the starting lineup. Like, he's really starting. I ain't trying to have him in all those minutes right away, especially when we got off to kind of a slower start. But if you can figure out a way to pair those guys up, that's a better matchup for him. But at the same time, you're just like, we gotta be getting some scoring, man. But like Phil, like you said, get these role players at home. We've seen TJ pop a little bit in the playoffs. I don't know that, like, it's kind of sounding like we're really depending on him to decide this game, but everybody's got to play well. When you're this undermanned, you can't be having multiple guys like Jaden too. We might need 20 out of him. Like we got to have you making some threes, right? Across the board. Like everybody's going to have to bring it if you're going to pull this off.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned TJ. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more Jalen Clark. I see Mike played 17 minutes last game. Like, if we can get that down closer to 10 and then spread those other 7 minutes out for, like, with Jalen Clark, like, at least you know you're going to get hustle. Like, that's the type of shit that gets the crowd going. He gets a steal, you get out in the fast break. That's kind of what I would be like to see. I don't know what's up with Bones. I know I saw he was still listed day-to-day. I'm sure he's probably fine.
Questionable knee soreness.
Yeah,
it's
so
like we're all sore.
You know what? just whatever. But yeah, Jaden's gonna have to be
play.
Jaden's gonna have to be huge. I think like now's you've talked the talk and walked the walk, and then last game had the foul trouble, and I think it's time to if he has a big game and sends them home, like that's legacy shit right there. That's what you want.
Yeah,
that's for sure what you want to see.
Yeah, and we said make some threes, but it's like, you know, we do want everybody attacking the rim. Like that is the way our offense needs to be, you know, because that's the other part. Losing Ant and Dante is like, we just lost a lot of 3-point shooting too, you know, and now you look around and you're like, well, who is it now? Nas, I guess. Plenty of capable shooters, but not a lot of like high volume, high percentage guys that are still left. So, you know, and Julius too will have to have a good game. Rudy, I mean, it's unfortunately it's like we got to have these guys staying out of foul trouble too, which is just, you hate to always bring it up, but it's so important in the fucking NBA and the way this shit is always called. I did see today that Foster and Tony Brothers are calling games tonight, so they're not going to be here tomorrow. So
game 7,
which, hey man, if you let this go 7, I'm not too confident in that. I mean, they're going to be like, we got a new life here in the playoffs after being down 3-1, and they should feel that way
for sure.
But you got to take care of business tomorrow night, man. What do you think minutes wise, guys? Is he shortening the bench even more? Maybe these guys
funny because we just
all play 40 plus. Maybe that's what
we just mentioned all these guys, and it's like, well, do you have to shorten the bench? That's funny to say, because I mean, Mike would have to be the one to like barely play at all. Then, I mean, you're going to play a lot of Io, Jaden, Julius, Nas, Rudy, and then what? Bones. I mean, that's got to be like your 6, and then after that, you know, like I'd like to see Shannon play a little more too. I think they just have to be like, hey, green light, just pretend you're at Iowa, because I feel like there's a lot of times up here where they're not giving him a green light at all, and it's just he's way too passive. And I understand, like he's still young, he's trying to like learn with everybody else and not be that player, but that's what we need right now. We need you to be the scorer, try to go to the basket. He drives hard, man. He's physical. He can get to the free throw line. He's proven that. So I just think he needs a green light. Just let him go.
Yeah. Get in transition, man. And that starts with your defense. Get him out and running. He'll get the crowd into it too. Some of the stuff he can do. And I think, was it game 5? I think he did have a nice drive. And you're like, that's what we're envisioning. It's could be that easy. Because they don't like his athleticism, you would think would make him a good fit for this matchup. That's why we want him in there. And he's been knocking some threes down as well. So we see like it's easy for everyone. Like nobody, we watch it through kind of the fantasy type lens instead of a coach who's like, did you see his help? His weak side help there was off, even though it didn't cost a basket or something. And for Finchy, for a young player, that's as long as the leash is ever going to get. So, but yeah, Clark, we'll see. I think probably the first half I would imagine goes kind of as normal. And then depending on how that is, it might just be like, guys, this is the season, you know? And if you guys can all just finish out this half to a certain degree, not saying full Reddick or anything like that, but a sub here, sub there. We're going to be, if let's say you lay it all on the line, these guys play huge minutes, you still win. you're going into a buzzsaw those first couple games anyway. So I don't care if anybody's tired for game 1 against San Antonio, right? We're trying to just extend our lives to the next time we come back to Target Center for game 3 and 4. And hopefully Ant is there and can play and is, any version of himself. Because honestly, though, the previous injury he was dealing with, he was not having a very impactful series as it was. So now we got 2 bad knees. So it's like, we want game 6, but big picture, like, where is this heading? That's what sucks about what happened. So
yeah, injuries.
Jake,
just
any chance he plays in a game 7 with our staff?
He's going to try. There's not a doubt in my mind that he's going to try and get it past the training staff, but probably not. Hopefully not. So, but it wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden game time decision and he's out there trying to play.
Yeah, you almost got to
bring him in for situational shooting. Yeah, you have to protect him from himself.
Yeah,
don't you think ideal?
Like,
I was just going to say, ideal scenario. Don't you think ideal scenario is close it out, get more? I mean, like, that's the other thing with Ant resting now. He's resting his other knee, so that's got to be some sort of a good thing. But ideal scenario is just get him back at home, right? And I think that the good thing that I've seen out of the Spurs Blazers series, I know it was 4-1, but the Blazers gave them hell for those first 4 games of the series before they eventually just got their ass kicked yesterday. I mean, the Wolves without Ant and Dante are like as good as a Blazers team, so probably better. So I'm like, can you at least withstand San Antonio, withstand a punch or two, and then just hope that you can get him back? But that's really, really an ideal scenario, and just kind of hoping for the best at that point.
Yeah, in all of that, best case scenario, everything goes your way just to get your asses kicked by OKC, because we just put 25 turnovers against Denver, right? So that's what's discouraging about it all. Nobody really looks like they can hang with OKC unless it's the Spurs, maybe. The East doesn't even exist to me. It could be Magic and Cavs and Sixers and Knicks. I get, like, what even is all that shit going on over there? Does anyone care at all? Like, good luck to everyone over there. But yeah, it's basically looking like another OKC March, but that's what you have to hope for. And then you don't know what injuries could happen to other teams too. That's it, kind of turns into the theme of NBA playoffs. Who the hell is even standing in the end? And we saw it last year big time. Tatum goes down, Halliburton in the finals.
Yeah, stop wearing number 0, dude.
Yeah.
What a crazy coincidence that is.
Yeah. Go figure. But yeah, change your numbers. Dante, we're going to need to see you, I don't know, pick any other number really. And hopefully he can be back by like next year's playoffs. That's what it's like, a double dagger where you lose him for this run, and then he's pretty much out for all of next year. I know he got like that Tatum, like immediate surgery, but I mean, you can't really plan on anything Achilles related, because look at Halliburton. He basically missed the entire season, or he did miss the whole season. I don't know if he could have came back and played. He got hurt a little later, but it's going to be a lot. It's going to have to be a lot of IO. I felt like we didn't really, he was cooking them pick and roll in that game 4. And it was that was one of the craziest and most memorable Wolves games for good and bad. And he was really getting into some good pick and roll. I feel like we kind of went away from that in game 5, which is easy to do when you're just turning it over every time anyone touches it. You can't make a single pass. But we'll see how they look getting back at home. But this is our game 7, I feel like. So are we going to pull it off tomorrow night, Jake?
Yeah, I believe we can do it. So lock in, just play the game you need to play. It's that easy. Just, can you execute it?
Can you follow the game plan?
Are you smart enough to follow the game plan?
Yep. Yeah. Don't turn it over. Play hard D. Play hard defense and hope that the refs let you play hard defense. And play disciplined.
Like theme. I did think both those fouls were like the right call on Jaden. Like, you can argue like the interpretation of the rules. Like that first one, the shot's kind of already off, but then he follows through on the release and hits him in the arm. It's like, yeah, I mean, technically that's a foul, right? It's like, why are we all so undisciplined with closeouts? We saw that with the 4-point plays. Was that game 2? So you got to be better than that. And then he had the push off, driving, right? Which was that's just something they're going to call. And then another theme of this series, is this the worst collection of challenges we've ever seen from Little Davy and Finchie? I mean, we were without a challenge. When did that Jaden foul happen? It was within like 3 minutes of the first quarter. And you're like, well, fuck, we're up against it here tonight. But
yeah, and at the end of the day, man, don't be losing to Little Davy. Don't be losing to that fucking turd. What every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, man, this guy. I think the Nuggets fans even hate him, and they've been on some shit. So
they feel like they got to defend him. You know why they're all butthurt? I feel like this is why. They win or lose this series, because I think going into the next round, they're probably going to get beat anyway. Maybe they can. Hey, we just stared death right in the face and advanced out of this first round. Maybe that's enough to get them playing better. I don't know, but the way that we put it on them 3-1 with a poor performance out of Ant, I think they're all butthurt because they're looking at this Jokic squad and they're like, we kind of need to do a rebuild here to a certain degree. We got Jokic, Murray, and the rest of these guys aren't really giving us anything. Aaron Gordon, they all love him. And he's a good player, but he can't make it through a season or a playoffs. So like, what do you have around these two guys? And I think that reality is setting in, and they do not want to have to face that truth at all. And they are lashing out on X in a big way. So I'm sure when we load up a bunch of this stuff on TikTok tomorrow or whatever, like I'll be starting my portion of this war in the comments. And
yeah,
hey, we'll see if we can avoid a suspension, but I ain't going to be fucking around with these guys at all.
See if you can defend their Peyton Watson versus Anthony Edwards debate on who's more valuable to their team. See if you can get
hard
in
to
on that
say.
one. It's a tough one to figure out.
Yeah, it's the problem is like the people that get involved in all this stuff online. It's like those are the 5% of like the worst of the fan base.
Yeah.
It's like there's no reasoning with these savages, with the beautiful Wi-Fi they have in their mom's basement. It's tough, but it's nice we got the 6:30 Wild game and then an 8:45 50. I will say all units be advised, we may have Doris in the area. It's an ESPN game.
The other ESPN I think is Knicks, so Breen's probably getting that one.
I thought the same, but then I'm like, would they want him calling Knicks game? The whole Grady thing. They let Grady call our game, so maybe you're right about that. I'm hoping that they kind of think that, hey, let's be more neutral and get Breen to target center, and it's a better game. Like Nuggets Wolves has been like the best series in this first round, so I'm hoping for that. But ESPN, man, it's been tough. If we get her, I feel like it's over. Or it'll be over for my volume on my TV. That's for sure. That'll be done. What do you think, Phil? We gonna pull it off? Target center, game 6?
Man, Minnesota history would say for sure. I'm thinking 2 W's tomorrow. Wild and Wolves back to back.
And Millers.
I don't know. Yeah, and Millers. If you guys want to do us a favor and take an L, we're fine with that too.
They are too.
I'm hoping for just give me some fun games to watch tomorrow. And I'm just hoping that that home crowd, man, like I said before, can bring it out of them, bring out the defense, the pressure, the drive into the basket. You get a couple dunks, couple steals going, man, that place will light up pretty fast. So I hope we get it. I think we can get it done tomorrow.
And don't blow a big lead, please.
Right.
Anything goes on in these Wolves Nugs games, but man, that would be a dagger. I don't even want to think about it. But anytime we're excited for a big day of sports,
yeah,
we know how it goes, man. It's scary. I think I was tinkering with the Dallas-Denver parlay again. It's like not even good enough odds where like, what do you even bet on that? It's like plus 150 or something like that. Because Denver, like they've been favored almost every single game, if not every game. So it's like, how do you make money off this? I swore I wasn't going to finance a playoff run, especially now we have injuries, right? So it's like, God damn. But I just want this series. After all these injuries have occurred, we got up 3-1 on these dudes. It's been fucking venomous back and forth at every aspect of this series, pretty much from players to fans to media. I want this one bad. Just, I know it's not going to lead to a deep run or a ring or anything, but don't throw this away, even with some of your best guys out, dude. We got to just cash this one in. And then that's when the Twitter stuff will really get good. We're going to have a lot of people clapping back at Denver. A lot of stuff bookmarked out on X, I'm sure. Both ways. Yeah. Everybody's going to be, the war is only beginning. And then the other part of that too, as we get into Wild Stars here, if the Wild win, guess where they're heading? They got Colorado in the next round.
Right.
So like this shit is this thing's only getting started. So I don't know, man. So Wild at 6:30. Big win last night. I know that was kind of that series has just been, neck and neck. I know we were joking a little bit. We're like, can we just not have 2 overtimes tonight, please? Just end in regulation. It's a school night, for fuck's sake. But they got a couple big ones, man. They got a couple guys back healthy. You kind of see, the announcers were making a big deal out of Zuccarello, like being a critical part of that, like power play for us. Cause I don't know where the numbers ended. It was like, we were like 3 for 21 and they were 9 for 22 or something like that. And I mean, he's a big part missing from that, but I don't know, man. Is Dallas, are they a little on fraud watch here with all these goals coming from the P play? Jake, puck. What do you think?
I think a little bit. I know they haven't scored a 5-on-5 goal in the last like 200 minutes of gameplay in the series. So the only time they are scoring is when they got the advantage, which is not saying a lot, which also backs up. I think it was Zuccarello was saying that after game 1, I think. He's like, there's no way this team beats us 5-on-5. And it's been true. It's just they get the penalty plays or the power plays so much that they've been able to win games. So I don't know, home crowd. Hopefully we don't go full Minnesota. And we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Both these games at home.
Get out of the first round.
More worried. Maybe more for the Wild. At least the Wolves have a bunch of injuries where you can be like, it's got to be now. Because game 7, the Wild could go into Dallas and win a game 7. That wouldn't like surprise me at all. But both of these game 6 close out at home. Man, the headlines Friday could just be bloodbath. We shouldn't even think that way, but it's like, dude, it's all we know. I hate that, but let's start turning the ship around and just a couple Dom wins would I mean, I might call in Friday.
It's a first round too, so it's not like it's a couple of matchups to go to the championship or anything. The other thing is that it sucks for the Wolves because of the injuries, but it's not like do or die tomorrow either. It is game 6. We're leading. So like it has, I guess, a little bit of a different feel in that regard. Like you said, more with the Wild, just because the script is, I feel like, a little bit different there, just with the injuries and going back to Denver with all the momentum for them. So it is interesting. It's not do or die.
Which team is this game more important to? Wild or Wolves? Getting a game 6 win.
Wild, would you say? Sure. They actually have a chance to make a playoff run after this. Wolves are just floating in the water after this series. So at least Wild fans really need a first round playoff win.
They've been bad. Yeah,
dark times for them, man. They need it bad. Let's let them get one. If I had to sacrifice the Wolves for a Wild, a guarantee win, I would probably do it tomorrow.
Yeah. It's a tough decision to make.
It's tough. It's a tough sacrifice, but it's one I'm willing to make.
It's a strategic one. The thing that I don't know. It sucks. We really haven't got playoff ant this year. That's what sucks. And it doesn't look like we are. We may not. Like, we just assume like, dude, he'll be back. He's a monster. And it might be like, well, are we down 3-0 to the Spurs? That's best case or something, like by the time he comes back, if you even get to the second round. But you were saying, you're like, yeah, it's just the first round. It's like, well, both of these first round matchups are like two of the better teams in each league. That's the other part of it. That's just some hogwash. Pardon my language, of course, but both of these teams like should be making deep runs, but for whatever reason, the Wolves injuries are getting in the way. Wild, they push chips in the middle, making big trades, and to not even get out of the first round would just be like, what do you have to do? You just throw your hands up if you're a fan. Like, those guys need this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the city. Hopefully the city doesn't burn in the serve. But like you were talking about the power play, I think they did get a goal at the end of the game last night, but it was like a 4-on-4. Like, I don't think that's not going to count. There's some sort of weird advantage about that.
It was a 6-on-4,
wasn't
it?
Did they? Well, it was 4-on-4 when they tied, or they might have pulled their goalie to make it a 5-on-4. And we had a couple that people were on X were like thinking that the Dallas guy should have got maybe a 4-minute major on that one, but they each gave the guys 2. They get it to 3-2, and you're like, dude, if you lose this one, I'm getting ready to put my feet up, change the channel.
Yeah,
here it is,
when it was
3-2.
3-1.
Like, God damn it, dude! Of course.
Yep.
But what is your Jake? You've been kind of following some of this on X. Like, it does seem like the penalties, like, they're legit. Like, we're hacking these dudes, like tripping them. Like, there's 1 or 2 here or there. You can always say that, and I'm sure Dallas could say the same. But somehow they're just thriving off of these. So it's like, quit hacking, and you got a dub.
Discipline.
Yeah, both teams. It's like, are these Wild and Wolves just kind of the same, like aggressive hacking? And it's like, we're trying to play physical. They won't let us. I don't know. I know puck, but I don't know all that. It's going to make for a big night, man. I'm trying to think of like, if they start, so 6:30 puck drop, when's that going to wrap up? It'll bleed into the first quarter of the Wolves game, even though they'll start later than 8:30. It's almost like the one time we would want a late start with the Wolves, we don't get it. We gotta.
At least they're not at the same time. I'll say that. When I saw it was 6:30, 8:30, I'm like, okay, like that's manageable.
It's better than what it has been, and hopefully there's a nice lead for the Wild by the time the T-Wolves get started. That's probably an ideal situation. I don't
know if you guys would remember, but I don't recall like the last handful of years when both these teams were playing in the playoffs, a lot of times when we were playing on the same day. So it's just weird how this has worked out where like is it 5 of our 6 games or something like that are on the same day? I just thought that was kind of strange how that's all worked out this year.
Yeah, I have no memory of Wild playoff games at all. Other than I did notice, casual as I am, Dallas, they're without the homie Rope Hintz. I mean, that's a big loss. So we are facing them a little depleted, but remember hearing that guy's name every 2 minutes in the previous series as we played with Dallas. So I don't know, man. Let's just couple closeouts tomorrow night for a Thursday, and
heading to the weekend.
Let's declare Friday, just some sort of holiday, even though it's like, if you want to do a parade, sure. First round.
Hang the banner.
2 teams out of the first round. What up? Very excited for it. And we know how that goes. All right, let's talk some Vikes. Would you guys agree with this? This is like the least into an NFL draft I feel like I have maybe ever been. And I don't know. I'm trying to like wrap my head around why. But it's probably just because all these other games are going on. But did you guys follow this much at all?
I was watching them every single day. Nothing nothing like intense or anything, because there's the fantasy aspect. This year's draft was pretty poor, and one of the most poor ones and we've seen in a couple of years. That's usually what gets mainly the spark, is where's the big wide receivers going in the running backs, and there's just very much B tier stuff going out there. So not a lot of quarterbacks going either. Trades weren't anything happening. It's just very lackluster of a draft. So I understand why people were kind of hating on it a little bit.
Yeah, and I think next year's draft is just a monster. So it's kind
like
of a tweener. But Vikes, we go Caleb Banks Thursday night, round 1, pick 18. Not the best reviews coming in. I think Kuiper gave us an F. He's probably since returned to his cave for the next 360 days. I think they had him ranked in like the 50s or whatever. Like there's the get your guy type of mindset in these drafts, and then everybody's talking value on the other hand, right? So it's like, yeah, you could have traded back or something. It also seemed like trading down was more difficult this year. Probably to your point, Jake, of like there just wasn't a lot of players that teams were just super thrilled with, where they felt like they had to trade up and get. So they're here at 18. And you're like, well, fuck it, we're just taking them. So they got Caleb Banks 18th, defensive tackle, Florida, probably drafting on need instead of best player available. Do you guys think that was maybe more of what they were leaning into there?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think before the guy broke his foot at the combine, he was projected like a top 10, top 5 pick. So the injury history is a little sketchy with him, which kind of sucks coming out early. But I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Obviously, I'm just a casual like you guys. But I think it was a pretty fair pick. I don't feel like with the picks we've been making the last like 5 years, like what are we even talking about? Like why people are just horrible picks. It's like if it is, who cares? We've been roll with the punches here. But I don't know. I think it's a pretty decent pick.
The fact that everybody's just kind of more on the negative side, I guess, maybe not full on hate, but more on the negative side than they have been in the past few years, probably indicates that it's actually a great pick. That's what I would say. I think the only thing that the speculation is going to start about the safety that we didn't take, and then he ends up in our division. I think that's it's come back to haunt us a time or two with passing up on a guy like that. So, and not to say he's a sure thing or anything like that, but this is one of those ones you kind of see where it goes. I mean, and this guy's like, if he's healthy, he's a big old boy in the middle there. Like I couldn't believe like the measurements, man. He looks like he could play power forward for the Wolves. My God,
may have to by the time it's all said and done. But yeah, you're right with the injury. A foot injury to a hog of that size is concerning. That's a lot of weight to carry around. But they did go same position, 3rd round with the homie Dominique Orange, aka Big Citrus. Drafting a guy named Big Citrus is enough to give me an A for the whole draft. I don't really give a shit about anything else that happens. So you're almost like, hey, we're firing 2 shots here at D tackle to try to get some guys to just clog the lanes, which has been kind of some talking points. I've seen some discussion on X since the draft, and then even some of the comments you heard from like Hargrave and Allen about like the D tackle spot in the Flores system is kind of like, I don't know, a thankless job might be a little too far, but like you're kind of trying to occupy space and bodies and let all the other guys shine. And when you've got big money free agents trying to do that role, I'm sure they're probably thinking like, this isn't exactly what I signed up for. Like I'm Jonathan Allen, I'm Hargrave, I'm a star. I'm not trying to just fill a role here or whatever for this type of money. But I feel like rookies would probably be like, sure, let me help the team any way I can. So definitely a position of need. I think the draft in general has just gotten too like pervy with all the value and shit anyway. Like you guys are saying, like nobody fucking knows anything about these. Like draft evaluation in NFL is like a coin flip, and somehow Quezzy was calling heads on a double-sided tails coin for 5 years, and we paid the price for that. But a couple big hogs in the middle to try to occupy space, stop the run. I think Jake, like you were hoping going into the draft, pretty focused on defense. D tackle, linebacker in the second, another D tackle, safety for their 5th pick, which is another 3rd rounder, and then cornerback in the 5th. So I think they get it. I think they know with Kyler, the offense should be good enough, and then just a couple of holes on the defense they're trying to fill. Let's see what else. I think. Did you guys see any of the discussion about this running back they drafted? 6th round, pick 17, Claiborne out of Wake Forest. What are you seeing on him?
Had some hype on him. I don't know what his problem was or why he slipped so much, but people are saying that he should have been like a top 5 back. I guess he's one of the fastest backs in the combine too. So I kind of like that. And I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we definitely need speed is one of the spots we need for the running back. So that's perfect that we got him, I think.
Yeah, they need some explosion in the running game for sure. I think they said he had the fastest 40 time since Achane for a running back. So a lot of trade for Achane type rumors on X, or not rumors, but just like Vikes fans wanting him. And it's like anything on social media. It's like, if we want him, why can't you just go get him? As if he's just given away by Miami.
Potential kick return potential with this guy. Anybody know? Like, just with that speed, you would think that would be a pretty good spot for a 6th round pick.
They should be trying to develop him into that, and that's a way to make the team. Those are the ways you get from practice squad onto the roster, is contributions on special teams. So Caleb Banks, I didn't hear a lot about this linebacker from Cincinnati. Maybe that's kind of another body to backfill Greenard. Jake, what'd you think of the Greenard deal? 2/3, one this year and one next, I believe.
Yeah. Cleared a bunch of cap space, got younger on the defense. And then we got a 3rd for next year too, with the big draft coming. So I don't know. I wish we could have got more, thought we could have got more, but I'm fine with the trade. I think it was perfect. He wanted more money and we didn't want to give it to him. So you got to do something instead of just letting him walk for free.
Right.
Yeah, I think we were hoping for a 2nd round pick, right? That was kind of ideal. So 2/3, that's a good secondary prize there. Going to Philly. Apparently they have an open checkbook for anybody. So
cap is fake.
I never know where all Philly's money comes from, but hey, go for it. Good luck to him.
Yeah, we had to tighten the belt. Somebody tricked us into thinking the cap was real, so we had to trade him. That's my only complaint, is like, now you got Kyler in here and you just traded away your best defensive player probably. So it's like, damn, like you're kind of coming and going a little bit here, trying to have a bounce back season. But, you know, the defense has been pretty solid, and he missed a lot of time, and they still were pretty effective on defense. And we're all expecting a Dallas Turner, breakout season. And it looks like they're going to use that cap space that they just created to try. It sounds like Jawan Jennings is coming in here potentially as a receiver 3.
Wide receiver.
Hey, look at us.
Bring them all in.
We know ball.
We could see it. We wanted him to draft one, but hey, if you want to pay for one, that's fine too.
That's actually like, if he could be a wide receiver 2 on a lot of teams. Like if he is, I know he's not signed yet, but
he's good.
It sounds like he's one of the better run blocking receivers, and he's a good player, man. Definitely. So
yeah, I mean, we always say this about the Vikes draft, like it can't get any worse than what it's been. So you can nitpick value and where guys should have went left and right, and nobody really knows anything, as we always see with teams taking quarterbacks, JJ McCarthy. But you know, if we hit on a few of these guys, no one will care at all. They'll be looking at Jacoby Thomas, safety out of Miami, 3rd round, and people were thinking maybe he could replace Harrison Smith. What if he's awesome? And they're like, how'd he fall to the 3rd? All of a sudden you look at this in a year and it's completely different. So, picked up a 3rd for next year. Like you said, I'm getting excited for Vite, man. I might be really chugging some Kool-Aid going into next year. Predicting potentially maybe an undefeated year. But I think the one thing, like you said, that we will know for sure is the safety from Oregon that the Bears took is first ballot Hall of Famer. by the time this is all said and done. And not the fact that he went to Chicago, but the fact that he was just guaranteed our pick in all mocks, which you called last week. You're like, that means we're not going to pick him. And then the Bears are like, okay, we'll get involved here. And we know how that goes. Let's see. Getting down to the nitty gritty here, about 10 minutes or so left. Any other Minnesota sports items to bring up that are not Twins? I don't want to talk about them.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about them.
If you want to talk Twins, find our guy Kip on TikTok. He does the daily Twins rundown. Tonight's gonna be a doozy. He is not a fan of mismanagement of the bullpen, and it was just a class. Rocco would be very proud of how things went today. So tune into that for Twins. But we got to get back on the PGA bandwagon. The Zurich, I mean, it's 1 week. The week-to-week PGA lifestyle of betting and all the stuff we always do, you take 1 week off. If I'm like, God, it felt like the Heritage was a month ago. Masters, when was that even? Spring break? But we're back here with the Cadillac. So, Jake, give us the rundown of the one and done. I feel like it's going to be some bad news here. We got to pick it up.
Yeah. That 2 weeks ago, we had Henley. You got T25 for 142,000. That dropped us from 48th overall to 68th. So we're back in the middle, just in the grind. But signature event this week, possibility at $3+ million for first place. So hopefully we can finally pick a winner. We'll see. Order tonight will be Hags, then Phil, then me.
Shit, can I skip?
Pass.
Can I go first? I'd like to.
Yeah.
Can I say Brown?
Maybe sell you on a pick here.
Okay.
Tell me. First of all, before we do that, do we need to update this process?
The format here?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We all pick 3 and then just whoever gets the most votes? Like, is that working? Do we just stick with that? Or if you want to sell, I'm also like,
I'm listening.
Okay.
Let's just spitball here. Let's see what we got. Give your names and then we can kind of chat out who we want to take.
It's not a very hard sell. It's the best golfer in the world. But I'm going to try and sell you guys on Scotty Scheffler pick this week.
Interesting.
I thought you were
Okay.
going to say Fitzpatrick.
Fuck that guy. Fuck him.
That was another reason we fell, was because he was a very popular play at Heritage, right? Which we knew when we were making our fucking Masters selections. I'm hot still about that.
And then he won last week in the Zurich too. So
he hasn't lost since.
I know. What an asshole.
Piece of shit. They're good guys, whatever, but it's just money. Dude. Just my money. All right, yeah. Sell a little.
Sorry, Jake.
Sorry, man. I'm pissed.
So I don't know. I think these guys gonna be low on this week. Very good chance to win. It's not one of the strongest fields of a signature event out there. So I don't know. I think we can get him maybe 10% instead of I know we want him for the U.S. Open, which is obvious, smart play, but he's going to be 20 to 30% owned there with everybody else. So I think if we can sneak out a Scotty signature win for 3.6 mil, I think this might be a spot to get kind of sneaky with. Only because we're in 68th place. We're at about 6 mil, I think, out of first. So time to maybe start making moves, shuffle the chips a little bit. So I just playing maybe we'll take the 8th best golfer of the week kind of a thing. Just hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my second is Cam Young. Yeah. I got Cam Young second, and then Chris Goddard up fourth because it's kind of a bomber's track. You got to be straight, and there might be a little wind this weekend. So Chris is the best in the wind.
Windy Chris. I'm not opposed to anything, Chef. So if let's say we do that, I think we might also then have to commit to playing Bryson at the U.S. Open.
Right.
That could be fine.
Just burn the. He's a live dude. Where else are you going to play him? I'm not playing him at the Open. Yeah, Fitz. He'll never lose again, right? The only time last time he didn't win was when we all agreed he would win. What do you think, Phil? You good with Scotty or What are your thoughts here?
So it's U.S. Open or maybe the Memorial would be the only other spot. Or if for some reason we keep them till the very end, and it's like the FedEx Cup. I think there's 2 of them. I think it's the BMW and maybe the second one we get to pick too. So there's maybe 4 or 5 spots max that we get to use Scotty if we include this one.
I'm not opposed to it. The guys I had on my list are, like he said, I had Cam Young top of my list. I kind of don't know when we're going to use him. Ben Hott, but he seems to show up in these big events too. Like he could maybe be a PGA guy we could use. And then the other guys are just kind of like, they're good, but I had 4 names written down. The other ones were Jake Knapp, Burns, and Hovland, where it's just like, I don't know what I'm going to get on a week-to-week basis. They could be great and be top 5, or they could just be, 42nd. So I think they're all kind of dart throws. So I could get in on the Scotty, but the top guy in mine was Young. So I agreed with you on that one for sure.
I think Knapp maybe got injured too. I was reading about a possible wrist injury. I don't know. PGA, who knows, dude? Like he could WD or just win. Yeah. I like the Scheffler thing, man. I feel like if we do hit it, like you said, we're down 6 some million, cut that in half or a big chunk of that. And then we're right back to being like, all right, weathered an early storm here through the first major or so. You hit the PGA, we're back in it. And then, we can do Bryson at the US Open maybe, or, they're back at, God, I always forget the name of that place where Phil intentionally went and stopped his own ball. But Fleetwood has been good there. I think we might have already used him though, but
we have used
multiple times.
That's your boy. That's your boy. You want to use him a lot.
He was my pick again this week, so fuck it.
But we'll have Bryson, we'll have Rory, we'll have
Brooks.
Do we have Xander still? Brooks.
Xander.
Oh, we used Brooks.
Well, we did use Brooks, yeah.
I
think I like him in majors.
Cam Young's in the conversation with these top guys too.
For a major too.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, and we still have him. Yep.
He could be a good PGA. I feel like he just seems like a PG, first major win.
Yeah.
PGA sounds right for him.
If we had to map that out, I think Bryson US, PGA, we could go Cam, maybe Rory at the Open. That takes care of our majors at least.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go Scotty. I think that's the way to try to jump back in. To be a little contrarian with our Scotty selection.
I think this only 2 just because I think he's going to be. I say now, and he's going to be owned by 20 fucking people. And I checked tomorrow morning.
Everybody's got him.
I feel like he's only going to be, hopefully, under 10 people picking him. So
we never can figure that out. I feel like a lot of our picks, we've almost been trying to be under the radar. And it's like, first or second most owned player. You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, how are they listening to this?
High almost every week somehow.
Of course they're not, because no one is. No, just kidding. But kind of serious. Dude, Scheffler, let's do it, man. Is this a no cut?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, that's a little.
I think I haven't done too much. Please research. It's new course too. It's Doral, so PGA Tour hasn't been there for a while. I think Adam Scott was the last champion in 2016 or something like that. So
I know
it's been a minute. He's been playing there.
P. Reed had a win there way back when.
No cut. Confirmed. No cut.
It's a Masters comp is a good spot here if you're looking at DK stuff. So if you play well at the Masters, run them back here. Scotty, Cam, maybe not got her up.
Justin Rose.
Justin Rose, toss him out.
No.
Patrick Reed, he won here. Adam Scott, I think he's won. So Tiger wins everywhere. That's not fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you any bets for the week?
I haven't put them in yet, but I looked a little bit. I saw Max Homa, just Masters comp. He was at 18,000 or something like that. You could bet $10 on him to win $2,000. I might just toss a 10 around him real quick.
Why not?
Just for shits and gigs. Yeah. That's well worth it. But him, I don't know. There's a couple other guys I had, but I can't remember. I'll throw some on Goddard up since we're not playing him now. He might fuck around and do something if it gets windy.
Yeah.
But the other guys I wanted were pretty much just top of the board since it's a Siggy event. So
Yeah. I tailed the Mayo picks. He was with Homa as well.
Oh, nice. Like that.
Morikawa, he got him at a much better number than what's on Kalshi, but I didn't bet as many as I normally do. I didn't do a lot, like kind of an unknown here. I'd rather bet when it's like the same stop every year type of event, which we'll get to in the coming weeks. But he had Homa, Hideki, Morikawa, Rose, Sam Stevens, and then Spawn. So anytime I'm betting Spawn, should we also then have we used Big Bob? Because that
is Bob Mack in the field?
Those boys like the Lockhorns. So just thinking about that, Spawn has made me the most money probably of any PGA player, which is just crazy.
Probably the last 2 years for me too. He was hot last year, and I was all over him.
People just like never want to play him for some reason, and like the sports books just hate him. His odds are always good. So I just followed all of what Mayo had, and then I added one of my own. I bet JT. He was like 100-1 almost. So I'm like, I know he's still coming back, but I'm like, it's JT at a course where we're kind of like, what is it? Like it's unknown. Like let me toss a little on him and see what happens. So, but I think I'm gonna have to get a little Goddard up going on. What was his situation here before we log out? I feel like his numbers, he's up there. 28. That's I don't know if that's good enough. I think there's a couple big boys not in the field. I know Rory's not in the field, and that's another good reason to pick Scotty. Be like, all right, well, there's no Rory threat here.
Big.
Yep. So a couple of the big guys, no Fitz, I think, as well. So he's giving us a chance.
Thank God.
His brother's in the field. He's now a PGA member after that nonsense at the Zurich.
Oh yeah.
Pissing me right off. Okay, fellas. All right. Any last parting words before we head into battle tomorrow night? Game 6
dude.
is.
Yeah, Jaden McDaniels. Go get him tomorrow, man. We're talking legendary status type shit, and the Nuggets fans will never shut up about it. So that's what I want to see. That's my pipe dream tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Get the Uzis, get the AKs, the grenades, the rocket launchers. We're ready for war.
This is where you needed to play the Garnett card. Tomorrow night. That would have been the perfect situation.
The practice countdown hits 0, and then they hit KG's music, and then
like it's a Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
and he's starting.
And he's and he's suited up, ready to play.
All right, Julius.
Julius is just pissed, and then we lose by 26. All right, fellas. Sick. It's going to be a big one, man. I'm excited. But this is why we watch sports, man. We keep getting L after L year after year. I'll keep coming back. This is what one of these years it'll be a breakthrough. And it might take
will it?
Moments like this in the first, will it? Word to Danny.
Yeah.
So you can't win 4 rounds without getting out of the first. So big games tomorrow night, man. Can we just have a good vibes Minnesota weekend rolling into the weekend?
Yeah.
Why would it?
Twitter tomorrow night would be all time if you got 2 W's tomorrow. And that's
baby.
If you're not on Twitter, man, like that is some of the funnest stuff after a big playoff win. So getting 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. Probably win or lose. Logging into Andrew's post game. Locked on Locked On Wolves, I think.
Missing
Wolves, yeah. Wolves podcast. It'll be the live stream up after the game as well, but it could be a little later. I think they do the post game interviews and stuff like that, which is always gold, especially this series. I mean, there's been Jaden has been good. Say whatever. All right, homies. Let's give them hell tomorrow night. We'll be back next week to discuss the fallout, hopefully in a good way. So we'll catch you next week. Peace.